Hello everybody and welcome back to Wexcombe Manor Farm. As you'll have known from the previous episode, the potatoes are ready to harvest, and that is exactly what we're going to do today. Now you will actually notice we have got quite a bit more money than what we used to have. The reason for this is because I've sold the silage. Now I did have quite a lot of suggestions to actually get the placeable silage sell point and then do it that way, but to be honest there's been quite a lot of criticising comments saying that I'm not progressing enough. So I've just thought, forget it, let's just get the potatoes harvested. We won't mess about trying to sell the silage, we'll just get it done off screen, which is what I've done. And yeah, basically, the potatoes are going to take priority today. So, we actually have less money than what we did have because I've had to rent the harvester, which is unfortunate, but still £60,000 isn't too bad. So first of all, I'm going to head down to the field, which is field number 6. We're going to put the tractor and trailer at the side somewhere, and then we'll go over to the dealer and pick up the potato harvester which we have just rented. Now a lot of people again have commented saying it's probably not advisable to use the really small harvester, even though it would be more realistic for this size field, just because it is incredibly slow, and it is seriously slow. I think it picks up 2 rows at a time, so like half a tractor's width. It would take forever. So I have gone for a self-propelled harvester, which I think is going to be much better. Because, yeah, to be honest, it just is time that we've got to move on. I think it's been about, what's it been? I think I said it was 14th of January we planted this field. So, yeah, it's not been too long, but it is time to harvest it. So this can go here, turn the engine off, and let's go to the store. So here it is, the Tektron 415, quite a big harvester. It's probably not something they see every day going down here. They're probably used to a trailed harvester, but not one of these. So yeah, this is probably going to take the entire episode, but we're definitely not going to spread this over 2 episodes because I don't find potato harvesting extremely fun. It's okay. It's one of those jobs which has to be done. But no, honestly, I don't want to do 2 episodes on this. Need to blast through it. Obviously get it done professionally, we don't want to miss too much, or anything. But no, just the one video is going to be focusing on the potato harvest itself. Now the potatoes, if you're not aware of this, they're going to be used for pig food, because they do require a root crop. It could be sugar beet or it could be potatoes, it doesn't really matter. We've chosen potatoes. Initially, I was going to do potatoes and sugar beet, but it just turned out to be too expensive because we'd have to get 2 harvesters. So I've just gone with the one crop type, and some of these are going to be sold as well, so we will get some extra income. Now because we have fertilised that field 3 times, we're going to get 90% more productivity than if we hadn't fertilised it at all, which is very good. But yeah, I don't really know how quickly the harvest fills up. It's going to be very interesting to see. Now I've got one of the sheds ready for this. We're going to be putting most of the potatoes in the shed, the ones that we need for the pigs, and then the rest of it is just going to be sold. I don't actually know how many to sell. Yeah, thinking about it, we don't need that many. We don't have that many pigs. So maybe, I said probably keep most of them, but I think actually we'll probably sell 75%, keep 25% roughly. Okay, so here we are at the field. Let's see if we can actually fit in the gateway. It's pretty tight. We should have taken a bigger swing at it. Wow. I'm damaging their machine. They are not going to be happy. When you look at it from above, the gate is actually pretty wide. So where should we start? I think I might do this top bit here first of all, because we've got more of a space to turn around, and then if we get rid of this first, when we do the lower half of the field, which you can't really see, it will be much easier. So just wait for it all to unfold. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. Whoever thinks of the way these are designed, they are just so intelligent. The team that does it. Everything has to fit together. Has to fold up neatly. Right, beacons can go off. We don't need to have those on. and yes, it does seem to be filling up pretty quickly. That is thanks to the productivity level we're getting out of this. Now it is also possible to use GPS with this, and that is something you would definitely use. So let's get it fired up. We are going to have to adjust the course because it has been set incorrectly. So while I just rotate it, I'll just try and drive blind. Right, is that okay? Let's set the width. Yes, I think the offset is there as well. Yeah. Okay, GPS is set up and it is on a roll. It might miss a tiny bit on this edge here, just because of the way it is set up. I'm hoping losses here are going to be to a minimum. Is that conveyor actually out? It seems to be sticking out quite a long way. Can you not fold it in? It would appear not. Right, now this is the trickier part. I think what I might do is actually turn manually and then choose GPS for going on the straights. That is good, and we're already 33% full. I can already feel this being a very profitable harvest. But potatoes don't seem to be worth that much at all, so although we're going to get a lot out of it, we won't get much money. Very similar to wheat or barley. As we know, we are pretty much 60% full, so if I was to go back up again and then down, chances are we wouldn't actually make it. So I'm going to unload here, hopefully without crushing too many of the potatoes. Now our trailer isn't that big, but there's no way we can afford to replace it. Not at this stage. Got to really focus on other things. And this is probably going to half fill the trailer. Yep. Very fast at unloading though, very impressive. Now this bit here is before we had the GPS set up, so we'll just neaten it up very quickly. And then everything will be running like clockwork, I am hoping. There we go, looking good. Now we're going to keep the time in real time. There's absolutely no need at all to speed it up because we have the crop which we need now, and also, well, basically we're just going to be putting ourselves at a disadvantage because if we skip the time and then it's night time again at midnight, we're actually going to make a loss because we have about, I think it's about £4,000 worth of maintenance fees, and we get about £1,500 from the milk, from the cows. So yeah, basically the less time we use, the more productive and more profitable this farm is going to be. So, well, anyway, it's more realistic this way because really most farms do run in real time. I don't know many farms in the world which run at a faster time rate than the rest of us. That seems pretty weird. So no, I'm going to keep it like this. It seems pretty good. But when we get down here again, we are going to unload for the final time in this trailer, and then we'll be taking this load, or at least some of this load, to the pigs because they are desperate for it. The rest of it can go into a shed along with the next load, and then after that we will be selling it. So yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing the productivity of the pigs going up. Then they'll be really reproducing. They'll be flying out of everywhere. Oh wow, it's rocking. It's like being on a ship. The rough seas of the Tektron. Okay, so here we are at the end. Let's just wait for it to get the last bit. Good. Now, let us fill our first trailer. We'll leave the engine running because obviously we don't want, I'm guessing it has a turbo. We don't want the turbo to overheat, it's just been working hard. So let's just leave it like that. 21,000 litres here. Going straight to the pigs. They'll probably take about 4,000 litres. It all depends on how many you have. And yeah, like I said, we don't have that many. That is why we need to have some storage. Some in storage because when they do reproduce, there'll be obviously more of them, and then they'll be consuming more of the feed. I'm also hoping they're doing okay for the other feed as well, because pigs take everything. They require a lot of stuff. Just noticed, looking at this here, this computer system in the cab, it does have a dynamic engine speed. It does work, and so does the speed, and the fuel rate, but I don't think the engine cooling temperature, the coolant temperature, don't think that changes. You can just about see the figures which do adjust. Yeah, the time works as well, although it is a minute out. Unless that is a pure coincidence, it could be. Oh no, it has changed. Right, so here you go, pigs. Special treat for you. This is certainly cheaper than getting the pig food. I did contact the author about the pig food price reduction mod, and he very kindly sent me the updated version, but I still couldn't get it to work. I don't know why. I'm guessing, I don't know, but I'm guessing something else I've got installed is conflicting with it. Hello, pig. Now, where do you want your potatoes? Just over here? Oh, what a mess. You messy animals. Here you go. You have this. Come on, pig. Out the way. That was seriously impressive. I don't think I've ever been so impressed in my entire life. But they have taken 628 litres. So yeah, I think really this trailer load here is going to be enough to last them a lifetime. We have 22. They are reproducing every 6 hours and 51 minutes. And that is increasing with productivity. So no, they use 3% of this trailer. Wow. But not to worry, we'll put this in storage. You know, it's actually good, because it means we're going to use less. We mustn't complain. In fact, looking at this, they are going to need quite a bit of work very soon. In a future video, possibly even tomorrow. Now I've just stopped here because we have two stores, this one here and this one here, and really I would like to store the potatoes in one of these just because of the close vicinity to the pigs. So I think if we can tip it in one of these compartments here, that would be pretty good. Now it's just reversing into there. There isn't a great deal of space. I could probably do it easier from in cab view. All the bumps in the road do make it harder to reverse. Let's put it in the right hand side. There is a concrete pillar behind us. I don't want to crash into it. Just straighten up. Okay, so if we tip it back here, I am hoping this will be a good place for them. Like I say, 2 loads will be entering this shed, so there isn't going to be an awful lot in here. There we go. That actually looks like quite a bit. So off we go back to the field for load number 2, and then every load from then onwards will be going straight to the shop to go into our bank balance, which is looking more promising, much healthier. There is still some in the harvester, so we'll just unload that. 6,000 litres or so. There we go, wait for it to stop. Good. And we're back harvesting once again. We are almost full again, so this is going to be unloaded. Then we're going to go to the yard and unload for the second time. We're going to have a lot. In fact, we probably We won't need that amount over there. I'm just trying to think what to do for the best. Should we really put another load in the shed? I really don't know. Well, think of it this way. They've just taken 3% of the trailer load. So is it really worth it? Maybe it isn't at all. I don't know. I think I might sell this. I can always take a future load to the yard. Well, I think you can clearly see what I've decided to do. We are going to sell it all from now onwards. It is just not worth it. We don't need to keep that amount, it's just a waste of money. We'll still have plenty for the pigs. So here goes, let's see how much money we can get for the first load. This is likely going to be the most expensive load, as it's the first one we've sold. But don't expect any miracles here. We won't get that much money. Just isn't worth enough. So that is £6,502. If we go on here, we can see potatoes £298 per 1,000 litres. So yeah, nothing impressive at all. The only reason why I'm actually doing potatoes is for the feed. If it wasn't for that, I would never have planted them in the first place. It's just we definitely need a root crop. This farm to me is all about the animals, so that is what we're focusing on. Okay, here we go, load number 3. This is the second load to the sell point, and it's not going to be very impressive. In fact, this time it's probably going to be even worse. It would make total sense if it is. Right, so I'm predicting it's going to be about 6,000 exactly, £6,000. I hope it's more, but it's very unlikely. Let's just see. Yes, it's still pretty bad. It's getting worse, in fact. £6,158. If it maintains that number, then we will be doing okay for the type of crop which it is. Anyway, we've virtually finished one side of the field, and then we have to do the other side. Then field number 6 will be finished. As you can see, we're on the very final strip. So I'm going to quickly do that. We are timed, obviously, because we've got this thing on rent, on hire. It's going on engine hours, so probably shouldn't have left the engine on earlier. But I'll try and get it done without the next hour being broken into. Otherwise, we are going to lose a lot of money. Anyway, this is full. So there we go, we're starting the next section. We have got 0.6 hours on the clock. And we're not halfway, I don't think, so that isn't too good at all. If we were to go into the next hour of the rental period, we would obviously be seriously disadvantaged, and also we have got to make at least another £20,000, I think, to be able to profit out of this. Oh, what a disaster. I think it is 20,000 for the next hour. So, yeah, not the best at all. I would predict that we have about 18 minutes left to actually finish this field. If we don't do it in that time, then yeah. It won't mean it was a total waste of time, it just means that a lot of our hard work was wasted because, yeah, we're getting, what, £6,000 per load, and it would be £20,000 to actually take this out for another hour. So yeah, we would make a profit, it just wouldn't be very good. Right, okay. Hopefully another £6,000 or so. That's the plan. How are we doing for price? Yep, going down now. Quite a bit. So this could be just less than £6,000. Yeah, actually quite a bit less than £6,000. £5,832. Got another load ready, almost 94%. The trailer is virtually full as well, so loads to sell. Lots and lots of potatoes, but just not really worth that much, which is a shame. So this is pretty obvious, but if we actually do manage to get this completed without having to take out another hour on the rental, we are going to do pretty well. We're going to finish off with a lot of money, and it's all in the hands of time, really. In fact, it seems like a bizarre thing to say, but if we were to actually not harvest some of the field, we would do better than if we did it to the end and had to pay for some more time on the harvester. Because really, what's left in the field wouldn't cost £20,000. It would be probably 5,000 maximum. So we would be really actually helping ourselves there. We could just plough it back in again, what is left. I'm adamant not to let this thing go into another hour. But I'm actually pretty confident now that it's not going to. I think with the amount that we've got left, we should be okay. Okay, so right, serious business now. We have got 0.9 hours on the clock, and it's been on that for about a minute. I think by the time it is 10:50 in the morning, that's when it will be returned. So we can't let it get to 10:50, otherwise we're going to be charged quite a bit of money. I will in a second check and see exactly what the figure is, but I know it's a lot. Definitely not worth finishing the field. It's a shame, it really is a shame, because we put a lot of effort into this, and it seems weird not to finish a harvest. However, it just isn't worth it. It really isn't. We're going to have to sacrifice the crop. I thought we might just about do it. In fact, if I hadn't left the engine running the first time, I was only doing it for realism, we would have done it, without a doubt. But, yep. Unless we can get it done in about 4 minutes, we won't be able to finish the field. We have 40 seconds before we hit the not safe time. Oh dear. 10:49 is when I'm going to return it. So when we hit 10:49, it is going. So, I've got to get this done. Oh, come on, please. Never have I, except for the sugar beet harvest actually in Chellington, never have I been so rushed to finish. If we miss something, which we already have been doing because we've been rushing, you can see where I started to rush. We started missing loads. But no, this is going to do. At least we have finished the field. I honestly didn't think for a minute there that we would get it done. I didn't think we'd ever finish it at all. But no, it is done. So as long as we don't suddenly lose £20,000, we are good. Let's turn it off quickly. Pretty sure it is basing it on engine hours, so if we turn the engine off, it should never charge us again. But either way, it is going. Right, so while that does that, let's just check the store. We need to go in potato harvesting, this one here, and it says per operating hour £21,450. Wow. Yep, we do not want to be charged that again. There is still some in the tank, so I'm going to save. And then if for whatever reason it does decide to charge us again before we get back, then I can load. The last bit which is in the harvester is going to be put into the store. So we will have more than just one trailer load in the end. But this is, well, it was last time I sold something, it was roughly £5,000 for the load. So we've basically lost £1,000 per load. But we hopefully finish this episode on £94,229. And yes, that was just £4,898. Wow, it's amazing how it drops. Anyway, let's rush back to the harvester, then return it, tip it into the shed, close the store up, and then we'll be done. And I would call that progress. So there we go. The last of the potatoes. It was worth it, but it was just very rushed. See, even in there was still almost 13,000 litres. Very impressive. Goodbye. We do not want to have any more of your fees. Okay, so back to the yard. Sort things out. And then until tomorrow, that'll be another episode on Wexcombe Manor Farm. I don't really know which is the best way of reversing into here. Whether we should reverse down the whole way or just go down here and reverse in. Probably this way actually, because we're putting it in the right hand side. Oh, whoa, 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 that's close. Yeah, I hate reversing out of cab view. That is a nice bit of a stockpile there. Very good. But I think what we're going to do is just park this down here. There are the pigs again. And then we'll just quickly run back, shut the store's door, and conclude. Oh, they seem happy. They have their potatoes. All of it was just for the pigs. The whole potato planting and harvesting process was just for the pigs, but we did manage to get some income out of it, which is okay. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and until next time, see you again soon. Bye for now.